Hey yogis, my name is Corey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. This video is going to be kind of a special edition video because a few weeks ago, two of my very best friends called me 2 days apart to let me know that they're pregnant. And then I was home this past weekend at a wedding with my cousin. She's pregnant too, so there are a lot of pregnant ladies in my life and around me. I figured I would make a prenatal yoga video. Just a disclaimer, all of the poses and the information that I'll share in this video is coming from what I've read in books, what I've learned in my teacher trainings and in classes. I've never been pregnant myself, so I don't know what it feels like. Feel free to share any tips, anything that you found helpful, and if this video works for you or if some of the poses don't. I'm open to any criticism, and I'm just making this as a special treat for my ladies who might be pregnant. We're going to get started lying down. And I took this pillow from my bed. You can take any pillow. I like the long one. You're going to set it right behind your heart as you come to lie down. And it might feel better to you to have your legs straight out or your knees wide apart, opening up into the hips. And let your arms separate from your body. And turn your palms up. And we'll take a few breaths in and out here through your nose. And start to connect with your breath. And just feel your body lying here on the floor. And just take some time here to appreciate your body and all the work that it's doing for you. Especially as you're growing a human inside of you. That's a pretty big job. So just letting each feeling be what it is without passing judgment. And all you have to do is breathe. And take about 2 more rounds of breath here. And then use your hands to reach down, close your knees up, let your eyes come open. And roll over to the side, and we're coming to sit up on your pillow. We're going to come to sit up on your pillow. And cross your legs at the shins, doesn't matter which one is in front. Sit up tall onto your sitting bones. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then just take a nice easy side bend over to the right. Yeah. You might turn your gaze up underneath your armpit, reaching up and out. And we'll come up through center, take it over to the other side, reaching out through your fingertips and rooting down through your sitting bones into your pillow. And we'll come up through center, bring both sets of fingertips back behind you and just open wide across your heart. Let your chest expand. Maybe bring your gaze up to the sky. And bring your hands around in front. We'll take your pillow out of the way for now. We're going to come onto hands and knees. You'll come into a tabletop position. We'll take a few rounds of cat and cow pose. Put your hands right under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. On an inhale, reach your heart forward. Gently draw your shoulder blades together behind you, press them forward into your chest. And then exhale, round in. A nice easy cat pose. Stretch your shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, reach forward and up with your heart. Shoulders draw back. Exhale, round into your cat pose. And take that a couple more times. Moving with your own breath. Then we'll take it back nice and easy to a neutral spine. Spread your knees pretty wide apart. And then sit back onto your heels. We'll take child's pose. Walk your arms out in front of you. Ground your forehead down. And if you don't quite have the space, you can make a pillow with your hands or your fists. And let your forehead rest on top of them. And take an inhale, breathe into the back of your ribs. Exhale, sink deeper through your hips, let yourself release. And then crawl back onto your hands and knees. And spread your fingers a little wider apart. Turn your wrist creases so they point forward or slightly turned out. Tuck your toes under. We'll come into an easy downward dog. Bend your knees. Step them at least hips distance apart, maybe a little wider. Give your sacrum room to spread out. And press down through your hands. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. And take a couple deep breaths here in your down dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Come to a wide-legged forward fold, or pretty wide, so wider than your hips. Let your knees bend, upper body hang down heavy. We'll inhale, rise up about halfway. Press your hands into your shins, reach your heart forward. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Press down through the feet, reach your arms out wide, rise all the way up to standing. And then take your hands into heart center. And reach the arms around and up. Exhale, spread them wide as you dive down into your forward fold. Inhale up halfway, reaching forward with your heart and the crown of your head. Then exhale, plant your hands. Steadily walk your hands out, coming back into your downward facing dog. And take an inhale here. Exhale, sink your knees down to the mat, bring your big toes together, sit back in your child's pose. And on an inhale, start to shift forward like you're coming into cow pose. Slowly leading with your heart. Start to let your belly drop down a little bit, shoulders draw back. And then exhale as you round through your cat pose, sit your hips back onto your heels. You'll wind up in like a modified child's pose where you're pressing your hands down. Inhale, bend the elbows as you draw your heart forward. Exhale, round into the spine, sit your hips back. We'll take it one more time. Inhale, shift forward into your cow. Exhale, round the back as you bring your sitting bones back towards your heels. And shift forward, back into your tabletop. Bring the knees under the hips. Tuck the toes under, come into your down dog. And take a couple breaths here. Then rise up onto the balls of your feet. Take a walk up to the top of your mat or your rug if you're not using the mat like me. Let yourself hang down heavy. Let the arms just drape. Neck and head relax. Then slide your hands up to your hips. Press down through the feet. We'll rise all the way up to standing. Yeah. Bring your feet back to hips distance apart if they're a little wider. Inhale, reach the arms around and up by your ears. Bend the palms to face in toward each other. And then sit your hips down low. You can have your knees spread a little wider if you need more room. Sit back into your chair pose. And tuck your sitting bones down to the mat. Make sure you can see your toes poking out under your knees. Inhale here. And then exhale down into your fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Draw your heart forward. Exhale, plant your hands. We're going to step it back to a plank pose. You'll step back with one foot and then the other. And then lower your knees down back to your table. On an inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Come back to your neutral. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. That's a nice version of a sun salutation you can do. Even if you went to any normal class and it didn't happen to be prenatal, you could do the same thing everyone else is doing without coming down onto your belly. We'll do that one more time. On an inhale, rise up onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, step your feet up to the top of your mat. Take a little walk to get there. Inhale, rise up halfway, open across your heart. Exhale, fold down. Press the feet, reach the arms around and up. Come up to standing. Exhale, hands into heart center. And we'll start that one more time with our chair pose. Inhale, arms reach high, hips sit back. Exhale, melt down into your fold. Inhale, reach up through the heart and the crown of the head. Exhale, plant your hands. Maybe step back with the opposite foot this time. Come to plank. Lower the knees down onto all fours. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, round your spine. Press down through all 10 fingers. Come back to neutral. Retuck your toes. Come into your down dog. And take an inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Then rise up onto the balls of your feet. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And slide your hands up to your hips. Rise all the way up to standing. And then we're going to turn to face the side edge of your mat or your rug and step your feet wide apart. We'll turn the right leg out to the right and turn your back toes in a little bit. We're setting up for warrior two. You'll have your feet in line with each other. You'll start to bend into your front knee. Make sure your knee's tracking right over about your second toe. You'll stack the knee right over the ankle and then stretch your arms out parallel to the ground. Yeah. Feel your front heel pressing down into the mat and the whole back foot pressing down like you could drive it into the center of the earth. Come to your breath here. And feel your fingertips stretching wide apart. And we'll shift into triangle pose. Start to straighten through your front leg. Reach forward with your right fingertips so you can't reach anymore. And we'll take the right hand down maybe to the shin or the ankle, or you can just rest it here, keeping your arm active and pressing into your inner shin or your calf with the back of your hand. You might turn your gaze up towards the sky, toward your top thumb. And feel both feet pressing down. Then rebend into your front knee as you rise back up into warrior two. We'll straighten through the front leg. Take your hands down onto your hips. Spin all 10 toes to the front. And then spin your left leg out to the left side. And turn your back toes up a little bit. Start to bend into your left knee. If you notice that the knee goes far past your ankle, you probably need to step your back foot back a little bit. And then spread your arms out wide. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Straighten through your back leg, press down through your whole back foot. And feel the weight pressing into your front heel. And take a couple more breaths here in warrior two. And then we'll start to straighten through your front leg. Shift your left fingertips out, start to tilt the torso. And then we'll lower your left hand down. Maybe it comes to your shin or just press the back of that hand into your calf. And keep the tiniest bend in your left knee. Your gaze might come up to your top middle finger. If it bothers your neck, just look down. And start to rebend your front knee. Reach up with your top hand to bring you back into warrior two. Straighten through the front leg. Take your hands to your hips and spin all 10 toes forward. We'll step the feet together and come back to the top of your mat. And then step your feet wider than your mat so your toes point out and your heels come in. We're going to sink down into Malasana, a yogi squat. Sinking your hips as low as they can without bothering your knees. If you like, you might take your pillow and slide it underneath your butt for a little more support. Yeah, you'll press your elbows to the insides of your knees. If this bothers your knees at all, you can come up to a higher squat. Yeah. And we'll take a couple breaths here. Reach your heart forward and towards your thumbs. And then we're going to come to sit it all the way down. If you're conveniently already on your pillow like I am, you can stay on it or take it out of the way. We'll come into a wide-legged fold, so you're going to stretch your legs out at about 90 degrees apart from each other. Flex your heels, and we'll start to walk the hands out. Bend the knees as much as you need to, and try to let your chin drop in towards your chest. We're just releasing some of the pressure out of your lower back here. And take another breath in, lengthen through your neck. Exhale, let yourself fold, release a little more. Then walk your hands back up so you come up to a seat. Use your hands to support your knees as you bend them. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. On an inhale, lengthen your spine. And that's an exhale, just let yourself fold, forward, round in. And take another breath. On your exhale, walk your hands back up. Place the fingers back behind you and spread wide across the chest, just like we did in the beginning of our class. And then as you're ready, you're going to come back down onto your back, right back to where we started. Set your pillow up behind your heart. And lay all the way down on it so your shoulders are supported. And this time, if you had your knees bent in the beginning, you might like to straighten them out coming into Shavasana. And make sure the back of your head is supported on your pillow. And come to lie down. And let yourself expand across your floor or across your mat. Close your eyes. And just start to soften into your Shavasana. Take all the time that you need coming out of your Shavasana and appreciate the rest wherever you can get it. We live busy, busy lives, and it's nice to take time for ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you thought. I really appreciate your feedback. I hope you got something that you needed out of it. Namaste.